Alright, this is the one where I was testing things. I couldn't skip this intro. I like this level of old FMV intro. Like, this takes me back to like the mid-90s. It's like the fact we can even do this is so amazing. Like, let's ignore the fact that like it looks really bad. Ah, that's pretty good. Well, that horse's face is weird.
Hold!
So do they have like armored ears? You went a little too far, I think. So yeah, Knights of Honor is our final game of the night.
Knights of Honor welcomes you, sire.
Okay, well, first of all, I can fiddle with this, I think. No, that's not my current portrait. Edit profile. Okay. Let's see, which one of these is a me? All look lame. Oh, okay, they have a separate menu there. These people also all look lame. Okay, you don't. For now, let me continue to mess with that and see if that's better. Thank you. There's not. Okay, and I can also change my title from any of many options, it seems. I don't know what half these are. Yeah, con it is. Okay.
Welcome
First, this
to
tutorial's
the
event
Knights of
tonight.
Honor tutorial. This game is a real-time empire-conquering simulation. We recommend that you go through all of the tutorial pages in order to understand the game and fully read the instructions in this tutorial window carefully. At any time,
Okay.
you can to select another tutorial topic, you can click on the question mark button. To exit the tutorial, click on the quit button. In Knights of Honor, you are the guiding spirit of a medieval kingdom in Europe. For the purpose of this
Those little
tutorial,
wagons
you're
appear
in charge of the virtual throne of the Kingdom of Ireland. In Knights of Honor, Europe is divided into provinces.
Yeah, talk
Each
faster.
province contains a town, and the kingdom that owns the town owns the entire province. In this, besides a town, the provinces contain smaller settlements, the rural areas. There are several types of rural areas.
Okay, every little
each
town gives you
supplying the
a
town
thing.
with
Okay.
different resources. Notice that also on the map you can see rivers,
Yep.
forests,
Yeah.
mountains. You have a distant, zoomed-out view of the world at the bottom right of the screen, called the minimap. It has different zoom levels and two modes, political and strategic. You can switch modes by clicking on the buttons above the minimap.
If you say so. I mean, there seems to be more than you're talking about there. I'm not seeing one of them labeled strategic, but okay.
The flag on the town is your kingdom's flag, the Irish flag. This indicates that you own it. You can see what happens. Keep in mind that sometimes the distance between your towns can be greater than the size of the screen. To locate them, you can scroll the map by moving the mouse pointer towards the edges of the screen. Eventually, when your empire becomes much larger, you can see the borders of your kingdom at the edge of the province. Beyond the border, you may notice that the foreign territories are slightly darker. This indicates that you can't see what is happening there. However, in some cases, you will be able to see into foreign territories. For example, a royal family rules your kingdom of Ireland. To see who they are, this is the portrait of your current ruler of Ireland. You may notice that he has the title of Earl. This was the standard title for a ruler in Ireland in the early medieval period. You can also see that he is very young. Beside him, you can see his wife's
I mean, I
portrait,
can't see that,
the
but it is
Queen
written
of
next to his
Ireland.
portrait, I guess.
Your ruler has different talents in different areas. The more stars a talent has, the better it is, and this means that greater achievements are possible.
I am perfect at everything but
Your
war.
royal
Okay.
family has currently one princess.
Cool. Good for her.
Here is her portrait. This is where you can see if she is married and to whom.
Good for her, I guess.
Your royal family also has two princes. The upper one is the first.
Okay.
To give the right to inherit the throne to the other son, click on his portrait. And see the crown will now position. Now close the royal dynasty by clicking on the close button at the bottom of the window.
I guess you just suck.
It is important to note your royal family has the power to rule over Ireland.
Good for them.
And here you can see how powerful they really are. It is in the middle
About a
of
5
the
or a
scale.
6.
This is the default average position, and means each time you do something dishonorable, such as breaking an alliance, starting an
reputation meter,
war,
got it.
or to improve your kingdom power above average, you have to invest gold and piety. Now please notice that lower kingdom power means your kingdom also has lower wealth and an increased risk of rebellion. Higher kingdom power will reduce the risk of rebellion as well as increase your wealth dramatically.
So spending money gives you money. Okay.
In this area, you can see how wealthy your kingdom is. The numbers here show your current levels of gold, books, and piety in your kingdom treasury. This number shows the amount of gold you currently have in your kingdom treasury. In brackets, you can see how much gold. At the left of the window, you see from which sources your gold is coming. You can move your mouse pointer over a position and an explanation will appear.
That's nice.
At the right of the window, you can see what you are spending gold on. You can move your mouse pointer over each position and an explanation will appear. The difference between your income and expenses creates your total balance. Notice the row in the expenses called inflation. It is very important that you understand how inflation works. Usually, there is no inflation in your kingdom. But when you hoard lots of gold for a long time without spending it, inflation will begin to rise. As long as inflation is, there are 3 tax levels you can inflict on your subjects. If
Good
you
choice
set
of verb.
taxes at no taxes, you will not get gold from the population, but they will be much happier. You should aim at collecting taxes on the normal level whenever possible. Double tax. This is a special tax called war tax. You can collect this tax when you are currently at war. To exit from this window, this number shows the total amount of piety raised in your kingdom. Piety comes from the monasteries in your rural area. This number shows the
church
total
money.
amount of books that have been written in your kingdom.
Nerd money.
Books come from the libraries and universities you have built in your town. Now let's see how the economy in a town works. Besides the global resources in the kingdom treasury, there are also resources that are local for the town. After you have
Shake hands.
when you have collected some gold, you can begin building structures to enhance your town. You can build structures from this menu. Select an empty slot. Build the training grounds. You can see the workers building your training grounds. When this bar fills up, you will have your first military building in place. From there, you can continue with more complex buildings. The royal court shows all your currently hired knights, as well as the members of the royal family that you have summoned to perform duties to the crown.
Okay.
Currently, you have 1 marshal in your service. From the submenu, you can either find him on the map if you cannot see him, or you can exile him.
Okay.
You can hire knights to perform roles as marshals, clerics, merchants, spies, landlords, and builders. Let's hire a cleric. Click on the Knights button. Now select Cleric. Now you have another knight in your service. All knights require some initial investment to serve
Where'd
under
he
your
go?
command and continue to require upkeep. Members of the royal family are free, and at the moment you don't have enough money to hire a merchant. So the only way to have a merchant, select your prince. Select merchant. Now you have a free merchant with a small crown that denotes that he is a prince. If you assign him as a governor, he will increase your income, and eventually you will be able to add more knights to your royal court. Use the princes and the king carefully, though, for if they die, you will lose more than a free knight. You can adapt your royal court to your personal gaming style. More marshals mean there are 3 more knight professions that you can choose. The landlord and builder increase food production and the number of workers in the town they are assigned to.
Objection, landlords do nothing to add
The
anything to
spy
the
is
economy.
for players who prefer covert operations and dirty tricks. Let's try him. Let's select one of our princes again. Select the spy profession for him. Now you have a spy. In order to be useful, he has to infiltrate another kingdom. Select the spy. Select infiltrate. Choose Leinster. There, your spy is in Leinster waiting to be hired. Every time Leinster hires a new knight, there is a chance that knight will be your spy. Explore the different options you get with the knight professions and forge your individual playing style. In this chapter, you will learn how to create and manage armies, how to fight battles, and now hire a marshal. Choose to hire a knight. Choose the marshal profession. Choose the town where you wish him. Now you have a leader without an army. You can recruit an army from every town. Every town can support a unique list to select the marshal. This is not an army. Deploy him in the town by right-clicking.
Let us restock and rest.
Click the Army Recruitment button. At this point, you can only hire peasants. Select. You can see that there are 3 types of unit. The first type of unit is one specific to your kingdom. The second type is one of the provinces you are in. The third type is a special unit of other kingdoms or provinces that you can build at an increased price. Build 3 more squads of peasants. Now you are ready for some action. After you have recruited a leader and units, you can order your army to move out. Select the town. Select the marshal. Move him out of the town by right-clicking on the
I am
open
leaving the
field.
castle.
This is still very slow. It's peppier than the last
When your
one.
army travels a lot, and especially at night, it will slowly begin to lose its morale. In order to regain, order the army to build a camp.
Nice spot for camping.
When your army encounters an enemy, you can order it to attack and destroy them. Select the army. Order an attack on the enemy. You can attack
For honor.
directly with a
Attack.
right click on the target. Later in the game, you can leave your marshals to fight the battles alone, but at this stage, it is best. When you fight in the open field, you will not have any terrain advantages on your side, so you can win if you outnumber the enemy. You have 3. Select the first squad. Order the squad to attack. Maybe you are not in the mood to learn Knights of Honor. You can leave and come back whenever you wish.
Wow.
Choose your target.
Move your feet!
You said to attack, and I hit attack. You wanted me to hit move, is
Select
what it was.
the swordsman. To gain a better tactical performance, you can change the formation of your
Company!
squad.
Wedge!
Choose the wedge form. Order the squad to attack. Choose your target. This is not a squad.
Let's move!
Select the second peasant squad.
Oh, they
You
all
can
became
also
skeletons.
choose the density of your formation. When the formation is dense, it's stronger in hand-to-hand. Choose your target and right-click on it. Maybe you are not in the mood to learn Knights of Honor. You can leave and come back whenever you wish.
To victory!
Like, that was a passive-aggressive
You can also
tutorial.
attack with your Knight squad, as it contains very powerful Knight guards and your marshal. But beware, if your marshal gets killed, you will automatically lose the battle. Your marshal can now finish off the enemy for you. You can monitor the course of a battle in the strategic view through the strategic simulation window. Select the battle. Please wait a moment. You will have some casualties after a battle ends. To replenish your army, go to the town. Select the army. Right-click on
Back
the
to
town
the castle.
deploy the army in it.
You might have had less casualties if you didn't have your peasants walking one by one.
Click on the swordsman in your army. Click on the refill button to supply the squad with fresh men. Keep in mind, now you are ready to continue your campaign. You will now attack the enemy on his territory. You can select your armies directly from the royal court. Now invade the enemy.
At last, my sword was getting rusty.
Okay. I'm attacking Leinster. Good for you, little buddy. How about a pat on the head?
Please wait a moment. You can plunder enemy rural areas to harass him and lower the morale of his armies as well as to loot. Attack the rural area.
Teach these infidels a lesson.
How dare you chop down trees on this side of the line?
Now, after we have defeated his army and burned his rural areas, it is time to attack his lair. First, assess if the army you have is enough to capture the enemy castle. In your case, the army from the previous topic wasn't sufficient, and so you have been reinforced with additional squads.
See, this is what you do.
Select the army.
Start doing something that takes forever. Okay, you get the idea. Let's move along.
Right-click on the town to lay siege on it.
Lay siege on this castle.
Okay.
The siege will continue until the town runs out of food or until your army or the defenders die from siege attrition. You can always check on the status of the siege by selecting the besieged town. When your marshals fight, they gain experience, whether they win or lose. Of course, if they win, they add some hefty bonuses to the army and increase experience more quickly. When the experience bar, your marshal has done well in the previous topic, and now select the marshal. Select an empty skill slot. Choose the skill. Let's select leadership. Now your marshal is a skilled leader. The more battles you win, the more skill points you earn, and eventually your marshal will... Introduction to the political view.
Okay.
Select political view from the main interface. Here you can see all the kingdoms shaded in different colors. The dark lines are the borders of the kingdoms. You get summarized information about any kingdom by just what you see is the name of the ruler and the kingdom, the traits of the ruler, the agreements that you have with it, and your relationship. There are many filters that you can use to gain different information. The filters give you kingdom information. You can also check the relationship between you and the other. You can also check the stance of your kingdom. You can also see the religion of the different. Rumors are another important source of information for you. You can see what the rumors are about the selected kingdom at all times. But chances are that you will get much more detailed information if you have sent a spy there.
Okay.
Now let's check out the rest of the filters that give more province related. This is the revolt risk map. This is the level of development and revolt risk filter. It enables you to take a quick glance at the level of development of each town, as well. You can also see what land features are present in your... After you have gathered information, you can contact some of the other kingdoms and begin diplomatic negotiations. You can ask for an audience virtually anywhere by clicking an object, such as a rural area, town, or army, for example, that's owned by the kingdom you want to speak to.
Okay. So yeah, themes of the night. Very long tutorials and bad accents. Also games that are more complicated than you'd think. Oh, okay. Are we crashing? We seem to be crashing. We seem to have crashed.
Before you engage in diplomacy, you have to consider what you want to achieve. Depending on your overall strategy, the diplomatic... Have a look at what your current political situation is.
We're already in here, but okay.
You are at war with someone. As you can see, you are at war with Munster. You are also at peace with Leinster. Let's continue your diplomatic adventure. Now try to sign a peace treaty with Munster. Please remember that any active war without a reason will increase the risk of revolt. Click on the portrait of the ruler to get an audience with him. Munster and your kingdom have not fought a battle recently. Try to offer a white peace. Unfortunately, he has rejected your wish for peace. Maybe he wants you to pay him a tribute. Open the political view. You learn now how to make an alliance with Leinster and ask them to attack Munster. You are fortunate. Ireland has a perfect relationship with Leinster. The plan may work fairly well. Now click on Leinster. Ask for an audience. Offer a trade agreement. Now offer a pact of non-aggression. Now cross your fingers and offer an alliance pact. Perfect. Now the ruler of Munster will regret his impudence. Invoke your alliance with Leinster. Ask Leinster to attack Munster. As you have just seen, you can manipulate the game events in your favor. Diplomatic measures will work, but not all the time, just as it is in real life. As a rule of thumb, you must have good relations with a kingdom that you want to negotiate an agreement with. Another rule is that everybody likes gifts.
Okay.
When diplomatic ways are powerless, there is always an alternative. And not necessarily the good old war. In the section about the royal court, you learned how to hire a spy. Choose to hire and choose the spy profession. Good. Now, or to infiltrate the royal court of Munster. You have to wait until the ruler of Munster decides to hire a new knight to his court. Each time a new knight. Perfect. The ruler of Munster has hired your spy. When your spy is hired, you will notice that the little closed eye in the lower right corner changes to an active icon. In this case, it is the icon of a marshal. Say hello to the marshal from Munster, who is actually far more than he appears to be. Now open the spy sub. You will see that there are 4 options. You could sign a secret peace with Munster without talking to the king. You also could incite an army revolt and turn all armies in Munster into rebel armies. If you want, you can just go and see your dear spy. Or you can tell him to leave his army and come home. If you order him to come home, he will leave his army in the exact place it was at the moment you issued the command. Let's try one of the actions. Munster is your enemy, so you are going to incite an army. Order him to incite. Now all the armies in Munster are rebels, which should teach the ruler a lesson. Our spy has done a wonderful job, but it's time for him to come home. Select. Order him to return to your royal court. You have now seen a typical spy operation.
That seems absurdly
The
powerful,
secret is to
actually.
infiltrate, strike a strong blow, and then quickly retreat. And nobody is any the wiser. This is the beauty of espionage. Your spies will behave. The kingdom advantages are rare economic achievements that grant your kingdom unique bonuses. Open the kingdom advantages with. Here you can see all 10 advantages. You will now learn how to achieve. The small squares under each advantage are the requirements for its existence. They are called goods. There are 2 types of goods. Trade goods are in grey shaded boxes and they are produced in towns by specific. Exotic goods are in yellow shaded boxes and can be imported. You have to collect all goods below an advantage to achieve it. Let's follow the creation of a kingdom advantage closely. Open the kingdom advantages window. Look at crop rotation. It requires leather, wax, salt, and horses. You already know that trade goods are produced by structures in the towns. But let's find out how. Close the kingdom advantages window. All trade goods are produced by exploiting province features. Click on the town. Click on the town development button. You have brine deposits, pasture and fertile soil as province features, which is perfect. First of all, you must build a tool smithy to enable all manufacturing buildings to be built. Click on an empty slot. Click on civil buildings. Choose Tool Smithy. Good. Now you have the first requirement to begin production. First of all, you must build a salt mine. It'll extract salt from the brine deposits. Then you must build a stun.
I don't think that's how that
to
works.
lead horses on the pasture. The bee yard and wax maker will create wax from the fertile soil and the cattle farm. And the tannery will use the same fertile soil to produce leather. To cut a long story short, you have built all the structures and collected all the trade goods needed for crop rotation. Open the kingdom advantage.
Again, I appreciate this tutorial skipping
and you will
ahead.
see that you now possess the crop rotation advantage. All your farms will produce additional food, and all the towns within your kingdom will have increased food storage capacity. When you play Knights of Honor, try to achieve also the other advantages. If you achieve all 10 advantages, you will win the game instantly.
Handy.
You have come to the end of the tutorial. You now should have enough knowledge to forge a strong empire. But every time you feel lost, you are welcome to come back to refresh your skills.
Okay, so... Well, I hate to do this sort of thing. That took forever.
I shall await your
It is very
return.
late.